If you're going to do blending of diesel fuel from waste oils using solvents, then you really need to have some tools to help yourself, because just adding gasoline at 20% to a waste oil does not guarantee that you're going to end up with the right viscosity of your final blend or of your fuel. So the kinds of tools that you need is some kind of graduated cylinder. I'm using mason jars as graduated cylinders because they're graduated, and so I can fill it up with oils, blend with a solvent, and end up with something that I can work with, and then they come with a lid, so I can put the lid on, and it will help me to work with my samples. A graduated cylinder that's a little bit more precise way of measuring your fluid volumes, I think, is a good idea. I bought 1,000 milliliter or 1 liter graduated cylinder so I can measure my fluids more precisely. You may want to use a hydrometer. There's actually two ways to determine whether you've got your blend accurately or not. One is using a hydrometer, and the other approach is using something like a Viz cup, which is this device. And this is a Viz cup number 1, which is what you need to measure the viscosity of thin fluids like your fuel. If you want to measure the viscosity of your source oil, then you'd use a Viz cup number 2, which is what this is. And basically what you do is you dip it into the oil and then measure with a stopwatch how long it takes for the oil to come out. And as soon as you see a break in the stream, that's when you turn off your stopwatch. And of course you start your stopwatch as soon as you lift your Viz cup out of the oil, and you can use your mason jar as a graduated cylinder to take your sample. There's another device called a Viz gauge, and the Viz gauge will allow you to extract a sample of your waste oil and then compare that against the standard to measure the oil viscosity. But the Viz gauge number 2 is really only useful for measuring the waste oil, not for measuring your blend. And then the other thing that you'll need if you're going to do either is that you need to measure the temperature of your fluid volume reasonably accurately, and you can purchase an accurate thermocouple, which basically replaces the original mercury thermometers that were used in the lab. These thermometers cost about $25, and they're traceable, they're precise, and I got the extra long one so that I can fit it into my long graduated cylinder. Alright, so those are the tools of measuring your blend, starting with your original source materials, waste oil, and maybe a waste solvent as well, and then you figure out your blend ratio, and then you test your blend ratio to make sure that you really did end up with basically the viscosity or the specific gravity of diesel fuel. Thank you.